Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going over one of my games of the London system I got to play in the San Antonio City Championship 2024. Unfortunately, this year I was not able to win, but I do want to give a heartfelt congratulations to Mario, our new city champion. He won 3.5 out of 5 in a very strong chess tournament. This year we had over 100 chess players there. 30 in our top section, which was 1800 and above, sporting a few masters and even an international master. So he did a very good job. I'm going to try to see if I can get his games, and maybe we'll be able to see some highlights of his games for 2024 City Championship. With that being said, let's go and take a look at my very fun game. Dare I say, I played almost a perfect London system here. Very thematic. Unfortunately for my opponent, although he did play the opening correctly, he fell for some basic strategic ideas. And once you have a very good position, well, the tactics will flow. So I actually got two double exclams in the game. Let's see if you can find them. Here we go. I was on the white side. I'm playing a young Pershala, a very good rating around 1800. And this was a long game. This was game 90, so 90 minutes each person with 30 seconds added each move. The game did not last long. I think it was like less than an hour. I think there was like 16 moves. And I even got a queen sacrifice. Hopefully you get to see it in the game. All right, here we go. I started off with d4, knight f6, a very good move for my young opponent. Knight f6 is definitely a master move because it controls the center. It doesn't allow pawn to e4 because you know I would take 2 pawns in the center if I could. And, well, it doesn't really let us know as the white players who is what kind of defense they're going to be playing yet. Bishop f4. Now he knows I'm playing my hyper-accelerated London. Pawn to e6, again, a very good move, and knight to f3. For all you London players out there, just know that, you're trying to control this e5 square as much as possible. So you can see with our first 3 moves, we're trying to do that. And, I've done plenty of work on the London system, dear Lord. I think I have like 20 videos. If you haven't already, go ahead and check that link down below. And I'll put the YouTube tutorials, and it goes over mostly all the variations. If there's a variation on there that's not on there, please let me know. So, pawn to d5 gets played. This is one of the best ways to play. It's nice and logical. You're controlling the center over here. Here I went ahead and played pawn e3, the basic move. And here he played pawn c5, again, one of the best moves against the London system. One of my sayings is against d4, the faster you get c5 in, and you can make the trade with it being good for you, you're going to be equal if not better. So c5 is definitely one of the best moves here. And when they play c5, a true London player, let's go ahead and play pawn c3. This is important because, well, we want to play bishop d3 out, and if you play it out last move after d3, black can play pawn c4 here, and this is one of those few times that it can be good for you, as the bishop cannot retreat to its best square, and the bishop on e2 just does not look good. So anyways, pawn c3 got played. Knight c6, knight b to d2. This is done just in case of those tricky queen b6 variations. So I wanted to keep that open. Maybe I can play rook to b1 here, and that's why the knight escapes right there. Bishop d6 gets played. Again, one of the best moves here. Any good London player knows we're just going to play bishop g3. We're hoping they're going to take on g3. We could take back with our pawn. And as you can see here, we get this nice open file. Of course, my opponent is not so nice. He went ahead and castled. Let's go ahead and bring that bishop out. Bishop to d3. Of course, this is where the bishop belongs. It's going to be attacking on h7 over here, which is our checkmating square whenever they're castled. And he made a boo-boo here, and he played rook to e8. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, and they play this all the time. It's a nice logical move here. What's wrong with it? Well, after rook to e8, the idea is pretty simple. I want to play e5 here if I'm playing from the black perspective. Well, what do you think white wants to do? We want to stop that. One of the main ideas is to not let this bishop get out into the game. So if they can achieve e5, bishop g4, or bringing out the bishop in general, will give you equality. So what do you play here? Again, a true London player, not too hard. Knight to e5. You're more than welcome to take. It doesn't matter which way you take. Well, here it would. Of course, don't take back with the knight here, as pawn takes would just win a piece. So here you'd have to play something like bishop takes, pawn takes, and after knight to d7 here, pawn f4, or even knight to f3. White is just in a better position here. And you can see this bishop's not going to get out anytime soon. And this is something that us London players love, and we can pretty much play blindfolded. So my opponent went ahead and played queen c7. Again, not the best move here. This pretty much rushes my move of playing pawn to f4. I know how to play the stone wall. I know how to play the Dutch defense, which is pretty much what we're transposing or turning into. Turning into right now. So yeah, this is just great for me. Of course, taking e5 is even worse now, as I'll take back with the f pawn, and when I castle, my rook will have this open file. Here, my opponent makes a strategically bad move and plays bishop to d7. It looks like a very good move. I mean, you're just developing a piece. Just know for the future, guys, play b6 and look to try to get your bishop out on this diagonal. One of the ideas is try to get the knight to e4. Maybe you can just copy us and just, close up the position, and it'll kill a lot of winning chances here. With that being said, bishop d7 got played, and it didn't take me long to figure out this move. I went ahead and played bishop to h4. Typically, castling is a good idea, and in fact, I didn't get to castle because I kept finding these moves that kept making progress and, well, gave me good attacking chances. And here with the simple move of bishop h4, you realize, well, where does the knight move to? After looking at it for a second, you're saying, oh, there is no good square for the knight. And so the common move here, which my opponent did play, which is not the best, was bishop to e7, and here it is white to move, and you're going to be getting a forced win here pretty much. I think the computer's saying plus 1.66 and 1.5 advantage, very good. But most humans here are all going to play the same here. Like I said, I was very confident here. Here I did take quite a few minutes because I wanted to calculate to make sure everything was correct. But it's white to move. What do you play? Here you get to play bishop takes on f6. Okay, and here, what's the best move? Well, you got to take back. G takes on f6 will end the game with a checkmate and 5 over here. Feel free to push pause if you want to. If not, enjoy the show. Here we go. You get to play queen g4 check. If the king goes to h8, we'll end the game in one move over here. So you go ahead and play king to f8, queen to h5, and yeah, the game's just over here. The only way to really defend over here, I mean, if you try to take over here on e5, now we have the other checkmate. I think this is Tamanov's checkmate pattern. Queen h6, king g8, bishop takes, king h8, bishop g6, king g8, queen h7, and queen takes on f7 for checkmate. Oof. Pretty naughty stuff over here. And so, well, yeah, he went ahead and just played bishop takes on f6 back, but now my combination works. Now, this is not going to give you a checkmate by force, but it is going to win some material. And for those who haven't seen yet my video on the London system traps, this is very near it. As they say in history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme, right? So a lot of things are just going to be a little bit off, but it's pretty close enough. But it's white to move. What do you play here? All right, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us that like and subscribe. Remember, liking is going to share this video with other chess players. All right, did you find the move yet? Here we get to play the very nice bishop takes on h7, double exclam over here. And hope you found the first double exclam. And here my opponent went ahead and played king to f8. Yes, that's right. You can't take. I mean, you're more than welcome to take, but if king takes on h7, well, the game is going to be very nice for me. I'm going to go ahead and play queen to h5 check, king to g8, queen takes on f7 check, and this is all forced. And it doesn't really matter if the king goes to h7, h8, it's going to be lost. The best move here is king h8, because if you go h7, there'll be checks later on. And here you'll play knight takes on d7 here. Make sure you don't go queen takes, as this will actually be a blunder, and bishop takes on e5 will actually defend here. But I had seen all this, of course, so I was planning on playing knight takes on d7. Now I have like queen h5 check, knight takes on f6, and this is why if the king was on h7, it would have been even worse. And, well, the other variation, which we'll go quickly over, is if he had gone king to h8. This one's, even worse. You go queen h5, threatening knight takes f7, checkmate. Bishop g6. I mean, yeah, this is just winning over here too. I think most of you guys will will go ahead and say yes. That sounds very fair. So you played king to f8 here, and here, well, let's keep the attack going. What do you play here as white? I was very happy about this move. What do you play? Here I went ahead and played queen to h5, and I was ready for all these different ideas in this position. Black has quite a few different moves here. I'm putting pressure on f7 here, and one of my students, I showed it to him. He said, what happens if g6? And I said, be careful. If you see that your opponent's pawn structure is working with all these pieces that are, controlling it, you should be looking for combinations here. So here, I already had calculated I was going to go bishop takes on g6, just winning on a pawn. And, well, if they don't take back, they're just losing. So pawn takes, and after queen takes on g6, now we see the real problem. The queen is threatening the bishop over here, which is unprotected, and we're also threatening checkmate on f7. And a lot of people here are probably saying, well, we just trade off. Well, trading off is just what I want after pawn takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, f takes. Now the threat is going to be castling king side, and well, queen can't checkmate by herself, so this is just going to be a loss over here, and more material will be lost, but either way he's just going to be losing these variations. The king can't even escape over here, as queen f6 is just going to be check and mate. Again, he's just going to be losing heavy material here. Unfortunately for my opponent, I think they did see all this stuff, and they didn't like it, obviously, and they made the blunderful move of the last move of the game right here, really, for him. Knight to d8, and now it was white to move in checkmate. I must say, I almost fell out my seat when I saw this move. I was so excited. It took me 3 seconds, but I sat there for another 2 or 3 minutes being like, maybe I'm missing something here. But it's white to move. What do you play for checkmate into here? All right. Hope you guys pushed pause. Hope you tried to figure it out. At this point, I was very happy to find the very nice queen takes on f7. Thank you, chess.com, for your puzzle rushes and all the tactics I get to practice with you guys. This, like I said, this didn't take long for me to find. And yeah, queen takes f7 gets played. The knight has to take here. There's no other move. And at this point, he went ahead and resigned. I was very sad. I was like, when you have a beautiful checkmate like this, you usually let the person play it out, especially if it's only one move deep, but whatever. After knight takes on f7, I got to play knight to g6 for check and mate. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you did like this. Like I said, I think this was a very nice example of a thematic London system of how perfect things can go. The bishop went back to g3, bishop to d3, and I got my pawn to f4, very stapling my knight in. This is the kind of positions you want to get in these kind of games. And of course, I got my very nice bishop takes h7 sack. So yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next game.